Hey everybody, it's Charles, your hobby hero, and today I'm going to be going over another trade that I did online. But before we get started, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down in the bottom corner. I do appreciate it. I put out regular content about the hobbies that I love the most. So we received this box here. Before we get started, I'll let you know what I traded off, which was my raw copy of my Ultimate Fallout 4 in a near mint condition. Now, if you're a fan of the channel, you're probably saying, hey, weren't you going to send that back to CGC? I was planning on sending that back to CGC. I do think the grade was probably around a 9.6, possibly a 9.4 on that particular book. This trade actually resulted in a trade that started for one of my copies of Amazing Spider-Man 129. The values of the books that he had were more in line with different books that he wanted, one of which was an Ultimate Fallout 4. So I traded that book for what we have inside here. And you guys let me know at the end of the video if you think I did all right, or if you think that I got taken for a ride on this particular trade. So, get this opened up here. Now, for those of you who have not done trades before online, there are a lot of steps to that process. It is not something I would recommend rushing into. Even if you have a good feeling about the individual, try to get references. Try to find out other platforms that they post content on, because people are not going to mess up the reputations a lot of times for a trade, but if they don't have a very strong reputation, that can be risky. And I've done trades with people who have little to no references. I will usually secure those with a payment up front. If you're not aware of how to do that, you basically just buy each other's books for the value you guys agree on. And then as you receive each other's packages, you give those books back, or you refund the money back rather, since the books actually did show up. Now, it does take a while to get the refund processed. It can take up to a week as far as that goes, so it's not ideal, but it's better than somebody stealing all your books and you having no recourse other than driving to their house and tracking them down. So our first several books here are going to be our raw books. Got them taped together here. And then we have two slabs in here too. Now, this is probably not a trade I would normally make. Trading one big book for several smaller books. Just easier if you're looking for value-wise to get your money back out of it. It's usually easier to sell one book rather than selling lots of smaller ones. But if you guys watch the channel, you know I like to work on books, and I also like Amazing Spider-Man books. So there were a couple of books in here that were good project books, and a lot of Amazing Spider-Man books that I needed for my run. So without further ado, we'll get started. I have no idea what order these are in. Okay, we got Amazing Spider-Man 359. I think this is the first Cletus Cassidy. I know it's part of that Carnage run. Basically, anytime you see Cardiac, poor guy, it's usually a key that's associated with Carnage, and no one cares about Cardiac. Actually, I'm a big fan of Cardiac from back in the 90s card game. I thought he had a really cool costume. Not card game, but the collectible cards. He had a cool costume, collect a lot of his cards. We got Amazing Spider-Man 347, the Eric Larson cover, is it the Hamlet homage there. Alright, we got Amazing Spider-Man 410. This is the Spider Carnage first appearance of that one there. Pretty decent copy. I'd say probably near mint minus on that one, which I actually just picked up another one of those in another trade. We got, okay, 299 here. This is the real first appearance of Venom, sort of, maybe, possibly. Not the 300, obviously. This one's in probably like 7.0 condition. Fine. It's a nice copy for a run. Definitely not a copy that I'm going to get graded, though. There's some older one here. It's Amazing Spider-Man 137. I want to say this is like the third appearance of the Green Goblin, something along that line. Not a major key, just an old Amazing Spider-Man book I did not have yet. Okay, we got another old one here, Amazing Spider-Man 111. Again, just a low number, Amazing Spider-Man. There's probably some minor key in there, but nothing too crazy. We got Spider-Man 134. First appearance of the Tarantula, who is always in that pose. So I think there's like 3 comic covers that look almost identical to this comic cover with the Tarantula on them. I guess with pointy shoes, it's hard to walk, so you just always jump kick people. Next one up here, we got Amazing Spider-Man 106, just another old Amazing Spider-Man book here. And these books, most of these are in like lower mid-grade, probably like 3s to 5s. This one, yeah, this one's probably down there too. We got 114. We got 265. This is a good one. I've been picking up a lot of copies lately. This is a decently high grade copy. I'd say probably like 8.5, 9.0 range. The first Silver Sable. I've picked up probably 3 or 4 copies of this here recently. I'd like to get a 9.8 copy of that book. Big fan of Silver Sable, and I do just like picking up the book. I think it's a cool cover, black suit. Conan 24. This is the first cover appearance of the Red Sonja. I think this was actually supposed to be a 23. So I'll have to message him about that. The Conan book, I have this book already in a decently high grade. So this particular one is... I didn't need this one. I didn't need the 23, which is their first appearance. Was going to be one of the project books that I was going to be working on. So I'll have to message him with that one. We got the wrong one sent to us on that one. And then Amazing Spider-Man 261. Nice Hobgoblin cover there. And then the last raw book, Amazing Spider-Man 322. Just another book in there that we were looking for our run. So that brings us to our 2 slab books. Now these are both project books. I'm pretty excited to see both of these up close. Obviously the pictures can give you a good indication of what you're looking at, but nothing like seeing them in person. And honestly, not even anything like once you get them cracked open. Got them saran wrapped together. Certainly packaged very well. Part here. Take them out of these Mylars. It's so hard to see the extra layer of plastic on there. Alright, first one up. We have Ghost Rider 1 in a PGX 3.5. If you can see, there's just tanning and foxing and staining all over that cover. You can see it on the back there. Pretty heavily dog-eared. I'm guessing that was like folded under for a lot of years there and got folded back out for the press. Now the books have been pressed pretty well, and I think the guy that I got these from does his own pressing, so I'd imagine he pressed these and cleaned them beforehand, but didn't obviously do any stain treatment on them, which is why I wanted to get them picked up. With the PGX, I really wasn't too worried about comps on them. I mean, on bigger books, PGX is definitely going to affect the overall resale value. But on smaller, low-grade books, it really is just kind of helpful for me because I can tell if the book's complete, if there's any restoration that they caught. Really goes a long way for helping to make that decision on picking up the book. That at least a third party kind of went through and said, hey, it's complete as we can tell, and original as we can tell. And the other book here, get it open. This is a book I have worked on the channel before. I think this one's even got some more opportunity, even over the copy that I had originally. And that is Fantastic Four 67. First cameo appearance of him. This is supposed to be a white cover. As you can see, it is pretty tan on that one. A lot of just tanning on the front and on the back, so I think that will really come up. But the colors are actually pretty crisp on the front. I don't think either one of these will go up to like a high grade copy, but we can definitely work on that presentation, get some of these tide lines. It's got some water damage there on it. That's not chipping, that's actually just like tide lines for it on there, and it goes all the way through, so that'll probably get some stained treatment there. So pretty excited about these particular books. Again, that was the big reason why I pulled the trigger on the trade. Is they're books I do think have a lot of upside to them as far as what's coming down the pipeline from Disney, but then on the other side, just being able to take these books and rehab them and get them back to, as good a presentation as I think they can be is super exciting for me as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think that I had on this particular trade, or do you think that I came out on the plus side of it? I'd like to hear from you guys. Until next time, Hobby Hero, out.